ability.
Yeah.
So in the straight up fights, she's just a bit weaker than other junglers.
Jace now been banned in both games. There was a Lucian ban by Cloud9 in the first game. I am curious to see if that gets thrown in here, because that could also be a Quid, somewhat powerful mid-jungle pick. So it's left open with the Sejuani pan. Inspired, how highly, with LeBlanc being up, how highly would you actually prioritize this LeBlanc?
Honestly, the Yon ban kind of says that they don't want to pick the LeBlanc, because I think Yon is one of the better matchups for LeBlanc. Like, it's really easy to push the Yon in and impact them up, but they decided to ban it. So I'm not sure what exactly is their plan right now, because they are leaving the Renekton open, and everyone knows Thanatos really loves his Renekton. I guess they were happy with the Ksante pick, but we'll see if they will be happy with it again.
Yeah, Renekton Nidalee one more time for Cloud9. You know, ever since the Nidalee nerfs, it's undefeated in the LCS. You and Blaber
right back on track.
She just needed some nerfs.
The Ashe is an interesting one. I mean, like, before the break, this champion was like hardly even seeing play because it was constantly being banned. And I guess the fear a lot of the time was if you had a Kalista Ashe or a Varus Ashe or you have Ashe Braum, like the flexibility between bot lane has always been its strongest. So at least it can now lend Meech and Eyla some angles and fighting back against Berserker and Vulcan this game.
Yep, and we see them locking in the Corki, so we'll see what presumably AP jungler that River is going to want to pick alongside that. Sedge is already off the table. That would have been something I would have. Another one that combos really well and can get in lanes early.
Yeah, I think the Corki is more of a pick away from C9, because Tristana and Yon are already banned out, and they have the Nidalee, so they are looking for some AD option in mid lane. So I think that's why they kind of steal the Corki.
I see the Zeri being picked here. Personally, I think it's a flex. We've
Could
seen
be mid.
some,
It is. Yeah, it could be Zeri mid.
Some mid laners. I've even seen, just watching solo queue from Quad as an example. Like, there's a lot of like mid laners that have just been basically playing every other AD carry champion mid. So it's an interesting pick. I hope that we get to see it for the first time here, and especially in Jojopyun's hand, I think it's going to be fun.
Yeah, Brown ban. I think they're looking for Leona on 4th, and I expect 100 Thieves to just ban it out.
What makes sense? The
Okay,
Ziggs
coming
so
out.
they're
Super
expecting the
interesting.
Zeri to be flexed.
Yeah.
God, what do you think you need from Cloud9's comp going on 4-5? Because Braum is a pick that I thought that they would benefit from if they're going double AD. But
I think they're just aiming for Leona. They just want to pick the Leona here and keep Zeri flexed until the last pick.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Have a good blind pick.
Oh, they
Oh,
actually
there we
just
go.
banned the
That
Leona
is-
themselves.
That is interesting.
That is interesting.
Does
'cause
Vulcan just prefer to play
I think he
Nautilus?
dislikes Alistar.
Yeah.
Alistar? I think Nautilus.
Potentially.
Honestly, I think he
Yeah.
is more of a Nautilus player, and Leona is a good answer into Nautilus, so I think that's why he banned it.
Yeah, now if you're playing Alistar, you would want to play into Leona a little bit. It's easier to take that fight.
Yeah, and I mean, Alistar is not as good against Ashe in the early game, because she has the slow and auto attacks, and she will always be able to kite you. MF ban.
Ooh, MF ban.
They really think that Zeri's going mid into Corki
Yeah.
right now.
I really expect Nautilus here. Like, what else would Vulcan cook? Lucian.
Or they will play the Lucian mid.
Okay.
Double flex Zeri Lucian
And then
to
save
the very
R.
last moment.
Yeah, save R5 for support.
I think he's just hovering this.
Actually, I mean, Lucian Nami is not bad against Ashe, so maybe it's gonna be Lucian into Nami last pick if they really wanna play Zeri mid.
And we've seen a few
And just
people.
go like straight hard 2v2, yeah.
Yeah. And we've seen some Lucian into Corki globally. That being said, the one that I Baker didn't have a good time versus this matchup, but he's just been struggling overall in general. But like Lucian, I think has been a pretty good answer versus the Corki. So still very flexible, very open. It's going to be difficult for 100 Thieves to wrap up this draft.
Yeah, it depends on, we'll see here. Okay, so they're picking the Nautilus away. It's also a good lockdown for Zeri as well.
Yeah, but do you want to play Lucian Nami against Nautilus? I don't think so. So I feel like it will be just Lucian mid, and you pick Zeri with whatever support you like.
Oh, I like that a lot.
And he probably just goes Alistar again if that's the case.
Yep.
Yeah, I think if that's the case, he would probably just go for the Alistar.
And the brand jungle coming
At least
in.
River's on something that can do a lot of damage this game.
Yeah.
That's one condition met from what you were saying, but they don't necessarily have a super strong mid jungle with Corki brand.
The question that I would send your way is like, you're Nidalee in this case, and they're going to be going towards the Alistar, because a lot of the times with Zeri, you'd maybe go Enchanters, but I would hate an Enchanter with a Nidalee in general.
Yeah, I think Enchanter here is not it.
Yeah, so this is their draft. Which one do you prefer between 100 Thieves and C9?
Honestly, I feel like C9 will win, but I kind of prefer 100 Thieves draft.
Yeah.
Yeah, I like 100 Thieves drafts better. The question for me is going to be, again, we talked about how strong Brand is, but also how River really wants to get into his lanes early, and I think that's when 100 Thieves excel. That is happening. So we'll see if he can get it done on Brand. Take it away, Flowers and Azael.
Thank you very much, Analyst Lounge. All right, River on the Brand, Blaber back on the Nidalee. It's another episode of Renekton versus Ksante up here in the top lane. For those of y'all that might just now be joining us, game number 1 was pretty Cloud9 favored from start to finish. We had Inspired on as a guest, talking a little bit about how it seemed like 100 Thieves just wasn't able.
The situation was pretty different. They didn't have some massive early game lead. They were playing, from a position of parity. We talked about which draft would you prefer. Almost all of us were all on the 100 Thieves side, and Cloud9 just straight up outplayed them in the 5v5. So I think that's definitely a nice for Cloud9 fans to see.
Well, all that analysis is a great reason for you to think it was an impressive victory from Cloud9, Isaac. But the reason that I think it's an impressive victory, you know those guys on the internet that say you only beat Elden Ring if you did it with a two-handed sword and a naked level 1 guy? Well, the League of Legends equivalent of that is winning with Nidalee.
Yeah,
so the fact that Cloud9 was able to complete that achievement, very impressive.
And they added in Renekton, so they're actually doing it on a dance pad.
Yeah,
like people do with Elden
Dance
Ring.
pad, naked
dance
level
pad.
1 guy with a sword, no spells, no buffs, no items.
Pretty impressive stuff.
Yeah.
I don't know what the...
Smurfing it.
I think the only way to make it harder would be to add in a Jace.
Yeah, okay, now, okay, all right, come on now. We're talking about world record type of stuff here, my friend.
Then your eyes have to be closed as well.
Yeah.
Dance pad, eyes closed, level 1.
We're starting to transcend humanity a little bit with this one. 100 Thieves right now, though, are just looking to transcend game 2. They want to take us to a third game. Yesterday when we got to see Team Liquid versus Dignitas, it was kind of a similar thing, right? Where you're looking at it and you're thinking, okay, Team Liquid is definitely heavy favorites. They smashed the first game, but Dig was able to bounce back very well in game number 2. So I'd love to see 100 Thieves pull out some of that same magic and give us a show here against Cloud9.
Absolutely, and I do think when you're talking about bright spots, one of the things you have to talk about was Sniper in that first game. Thanatos obviously, took the Renekton, had some early presence, but at the end of the day, Thanatos got a little bit too aggressive, was trying to hold that wave a little bit too long, and Sniper punished him, got the solo kill. In this matchup that we're kind of hyping up, this potential battle for Rookie of the Year between these two top laners, and Sniper came out on top. This is that top lane matchup. When you look at Spring versus Summer, obviously it's a pretty stark difference here for Sniper.
Yes, sir.
He has not been performing to that same level that he was able to in Spring. It was coming out of the gate really, really aggressive. I think overperforming expectations is Jojo. Okay.
Whoa,
Yeah. He had the early flash there because if Quid flashes, the auto follows and you are dead.
Yep, 100%. It looks a little bit silly from where we were watching it.
Staying? Are you kidding?
Jojo is... Okay, he's waiting for the heal from Blaber, so he's not in one-shot range now. Honestly, both their HP is pretty close.
This is actually really, really risky stuff. I mean, if you hit a pass-through Q, Quid had to flash. So yeah, he probably had to flash a Q because, if you hit anything through the wave there, he could dash in and just finish you off. So this is incredibly close. He's going to go for it.
Yup, Jojo actually has enough mana to do that. That's the important part. Quid only had enough in the tank to be able to Valk away, so he knows he can't try to stand and fight anything, even if Jojo wants to take it. Mid lane is spicy, and it's spicy quick here in game number 2.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, these are two confident mid laners. Jojo.
Oh my god, he stole it!
No.
River smited it too early. Thanatos is going to take the blue. He's going to get the bonus money for the first blood. If I am jungling right now, I am typing FF so many times. Oh man, that ain't no good, but Quid gets one back for a solo bolo on Jojo in the mid lane.
Oh, Jojo overstayed, and Quid just TV's back. Jojo had not yet based, and does get caught by the very edge of that phosphorus bomb. This one got spicy fast.
What on earth, man?
That is now a double buff Croc who just got gifted first blood. Not only does it feel terrible for the jungler, if you're the top laner, I'm also typing FF. I don't want to lane against this guy. You just gave him a red buff, a blue buff, you gave him a gold, 400 gold lead. Like, it's ridiculous.
And it's not just the fact that he has the double buffs, because he also got to last hit the blue, which gives you more money than a cannon minion. It gives you the EXP on top of it. Let's see how close this gets, because River smites it. Oh,
49
yeah.
and 3.
Yeah.
What was when it went from 49 to 3?
That was the burn from the Pillar of Flame, I think.
That's what I think, yeah. So I think he literally did 3. You can see the frustration on his face there. That is a tough one to get by. And then Jojo going to die again.
Back in mid lane, yeah. Eyla making the rotation up as Quid gets a second one here on Jojo. This game has 3 kills in 4 minutes. We are off to the races.
Yeah, this one's getting messy fast, and now Jojo just died again. The second death is always so much more costly because you don't have TP.
Yeah.
So now there's no actually coming back to collect this as Eyla tries to bend the anchor around the wave there to actually nail Blaber, who could have been in trouble, but at the end of the day, we'll see how much this Meech can collect. Looks like all of it, as it is going to be Vulcan just basing. But yeah, Renekton's way ahead. If you want to have someone behind, though, you'd rather have your Ksante behind than your Lucian. And we'll see how much he can kind of maintain, because when they get a red buff, it's actually quite a bit of early regen as well. So it's very difficult. It helps with the trading, helps with the regen. And
So
it's going to put you
powerful.
at that big advantage early on. Obviously, the blue buff not going to be nearly as important for a manaless champion.
Right, yeah. It's more of a
not
mental
run
thing.
out of the mana either way.
Yeah, it's
but
more
there
of
is a second color, and it's frustrating.
Right. When you see the 1 buff, you're like, all right, not that big of a deal. Double buffs?
Double
buffs is where you actually get a little bit
bro.
frustrated with the situation. Now, back here in bottom lane, things pretty even between the Ashe and the Zeri. And again, I like the fact that you brought it up back in game number 1. It was the Berserker Zeri contingency plan all the time, back when this guy was undisputed best AD carry in the league, right? Chekhov's Berserker. You mentioned him once in draft. He just AFK farms for 20 minutes, gets a quadra kill, and the game's over. And last game, we got to see that patience and that teamfight navigation skill to great use.
Absolutely. It was kind of one of my favorite moments from a pro cast was we had Huhi come on a cast, and he was talking about how he's like, oh yeah, like which spot do you kind of prefer? And they're like, well, Cloud9 has Berserker on Zeri, and he's probably just going to get a random triple kill, and then they're going to win the game. And then not 30 seconds later, a fight breaks out in the river, he gets a triple kill. He's like, like I said, they just
random triple kill.
Yeah.
Turns out, Zeri does that. The game becomes pretty easy. Blaber's going to go ahead and start up these grubs again on the Nidalee, going back to what we were talking about with Inspired in game number 1. He said with Nidalee just being able to kind of control these grubs, be able to play around your Renekton. And right now, Cloud9's got the first one. We'll see if 100 Thieves can force them away from the rest. That's what happened in game number 1. Eyla's going to be the first one to step up here, but he stepped up all alone. Eyla just drops. Thanatos has to slice and dice his way back away, but Jojo's going in with more bullets, ready for River. Now Sniper's gone all out. Blaber trying to get back away. Quid still in full retreat as Vulcan's looking to chase these guys down with another headbutt pulled. He finds the Corki copter, and it's a double kill for Blaber's Nidalee. C9 feeling good about that one.
Yeah, River smote one away, but that's all they get at the end of the day. They are now down almost 2,000 gold here already. This is going to be tough for them to bounce back in. Jojo also got a kill, which is actually pretty important for him to kind of get him back in this a little bit, as both those early kills did go over to Quid. We can see this one more time, as they want to try to push in here aggressively, but the positioning much better from Cloud9 this time around. If you remember back to game 1, 100 Thieves were able to get a jump on Jojo, chunk him out low, then they went over to the grubs, and that actually prevented Cloud9 from taking the fight. This time, Jojo has perfect positioning on the side, lands a full culling on Eyla as he actually went in. Then as River's trying to do a drive-by, he does steal one grub, but that is him going down as a result. When you're spending those spells on the grubs, when you're trying to actually finish that off, you are easy pickings. And a couple early kills here for Blaber already. Just got his 1,000th career kill in the LCS.
Damn.
That's a lot of kills.
Yup, the dude is getting it done in the jungle. And man, 2,000 gold, not even 8 minutes into the game, actually feels really, really bad. 100 Thieves is going to at least try to get this Drake back. I don't believe that Blaber is close enough to be able to make any sort of realistic challenge for it, so 100 Thieves will at least be happy about grabbing that for themselves. Blaber, though, on this Nidalee, just now hitting level 7. He's ahead of the Brand in terms of pacing, which always feels great.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, Brand is really, really fast. Nidalee obviously want to keep up that pace, want to stay aggressive. You know, we heard Inspired talk about it that...
Whoa! Over the wall from Vulcan, immediately looking for that engage on Meech. Vulcan and Jojo want this 2v2 kill. A little bit more damage is all it's going to take. The culling being blocked up by Eyla here with the Nautilus, but the dash into the flash, and Jojo gets his man. Nicely played there from Vulcan and Jojo together.
Yeah, just like that. Jojo back-to-back kills, right back in it on the Lucian. Going to be feeling really good about that. Berserker just holding down mid and is going to be able to hang on here. And this is the quote from Sniper on Pros talking about River. Whenever he sees an angle, he's going to go for it, you know. But a lot of times where we have trouble following up, when we look at it after, he's usually right. I just need to follow up on what call he's going for. And this is something that we were discussing. He was basically talking about, you know, River will call, oh, we could go for this fight, or oh, we could take this dragon, or oh, we could do this thing. And sometimes they don't understand the angle. They're not seeing it. But when they're going into the VOD reviews, he's able to kind of explain that, and they're realizing, okay, we needed to actually listen to River. So that was one of their major takeaways, was just to have trust on his calls, to try to be more coordinated. So that's what we really want to see this team working on.
Ooh, Thanatos with the flash away to try to escape up here. Sniper goes all out to pull him through the wall, but it might have just pulled him over to safety instead. Another slice. Sniper trying to keep on chasing. The all-out ends up ruining the play, taking him further away from where River would have been able to help.
Exactly. I mean, you land that initial knockback, and River's going to have the combo to follow it up. If River actually gets the full combo down, bounces the ult and everything, but he goes all out. Maybe he thought he had a different angle, or maybe he just thought he had a lot more damage than he did, but at the end of the day, ends up pushing him to safety, and it's both their flashes expended on the play, and now Blaber is here to try to poke and prod, try to harass. Won't be any sort of an angle for a dive, but still a failed play from 100 Thieves when you're already down 3K gold. Every one of those attempts really matters.
A failed play. Blaber stops the reset for River, slowing his tempo even further. They force Eyla to come up there to try to respond to something, which means that 100 Thieves now don't have any extra firepower down here in the bottom lane, and Berserker's just having a great time against Meech with the Zeri versus Ashe. 100 Thieves is again here in game number 2, just feeling like they're not coordinated enough. Meech knocked away from the turret, knocked right into Berserker, and that Zeri is scary, man. Easy money for the C9 AD carry.
Yeah, nicely done there by Vulcan. Doesn't even need the full combo. You just headbutt him away from the tower, so he can't do anything about it. They knew he had no flash from that previous play. So an easy kill there, donated into Berserker's pockets. I gotta say, Vulcan hasn't been talked about a ton this split, but he has really stepped it up from how he was doing last split. I feel like he's been really strong for the team, a big part of their early game, you know, moving around the map, finding plays. And also, when you look back to game number 1, he was pivotal in finding so many of these engages that the team could actually follow up on. They're looking way more coordinated.
Yeah, he's my MVP for game number 1. He's putting on a strong showing here in game number 2 as well. Blaber starting up these grubs. First one stolen away there by River, and honestly, 100 Thieves are going to be happy to steal away 2 of these because it keeps the grubs at 3-3. It stops C9 from being able to spawn the Void Mites. But back on the topic of Vulcan, I actually think he came under a lot of fire, and rightfully so in spring. It felt like he just wasn't where he needed to be. It wasn't like the level that we had seen out of him before, but now he seems to really be getting it back together again.
And not even just spring, back on FlyQuest, right? Like, Vulcan's stock was incredibly, incredibly high, but he did have, you know, a rough time on FlyQuest with Prince. They couldn't make it happen there. Then he came to Cloud9, and it's like, wait, you're not doing well with Berserker either? Like, are you just not as good as we remembered? But he is really having that big resurgence. He's showing us the level that we came to expect from Vulcan over so many years. I also think it's really worth talking about the upcoming opponents for Cloud9 because they are starting out, you know, obviously really, really good. They're 3-0 right now, but they have some very heavy hitters coming up. This will be their 4th game. Exactly. Yes, I understand. Their final 3 opponents include 2 of the top 3 TL and FlyQuest, so their bigger challenges remain to be faced.
Oh, Eyla wanted to go in there for the engage on Jojo, but they don't even have the damage to follow it up in time. Never mind. Yes, they do. That last little bit of damage over time is going to finish the Lucian as Berserker and Vulcan now in a 2v3 trying to fight it out here in the pit. Flash over the wall from Berserker as soon as he gets hit by the dredge line, and now Vulcan looking to keep Eyla locked down as Thanatos wants to arrive. Sniper goes all out. They want to go in for Eyla. He might just have to try to get over the wall, but I don't think there's any way home considering he doesn't even have a flash. Thanatos goes in. Call the Meek, and Ayla's weak. Vulcan with another beautiful 2-man knockup. The Alistar just facilitating and playmaking all day long. Berserker's getting fed, and 100 Thieves is dead. C9, 5,000 gold ahead.
Damn, that was some sick rhyming. I'm not gonna lie. You got like 5 or 6 in a row there.
2 or 3 of them were intentional. The last one, you just gotta let it ride. You just gotta let it ride. And right now, Blaber's letting it ride all the way to the bank here. Just gonna pick up some extra gold as soon as he gets this last kill on Quid. There it is. Flash forward for the pounce, the swipe, the takedown, and Blaber's on a killing spree.
And Vulcan, you know, nearly 100% KP. Blaber making that a little bit worse with that solo kill in the side lane, but 1-0-8. The guy has been everywhere. The early Swifties has just been constantly looking for these fights. You know, really pivotal for them in this series. And remember, the LCS Championship tickets are on sale now.
Ooh, beautifully done. Vulcan goes in for the headbutt. Eyla buffers through it with the dredge line. Vulcan buffers his buffer with a pulverize to knock him up in the middle of the animation. Jojo and Blaber have enough damage to secure that Drake. Now Jojo jumping forward again. Vulcan again doing a beautiful job blocking Ayla's attempt to stop Jojo. Everything that 100 Thieves wants to try to do, Vulcan's doing better.
Absolutely. He is stopping every single angle it feels that they are going for at this point. We're 14 minutes into the game. It is nearly an 8,000 gold lead. Yeah. This is a stomp right now from Cloud9. You know, even with those early kills that they were able to get on Jojo, even with a couple things, it feeling like going 100 Thieves' way, Cloud9 have just been better at every single turn. The call already cashed out now for Berserker. Jojo approaching his cash out as well. So these AD carries are going to be in a great spot coming up.
We're at that spot in the game, Isaac, where it's not up to 100 Thieves to play it right or play it well or find the angle. They need Cloud9 to make some kind of a mistake. And based on how C9 have been playing this series so far, I don't think that they're going to give that opportunity over to the Thieves. Eyla still just always trying to look for these Nautilus plays, but honestly, it feels like he's just outclassed by Vulcan in this series. And now he's going to get caught again once more. As soon as he goes for the dredge line, Vulcan is ready to intercept. It's a 4v3 for 100 Thieves, but C9 just walks it off. The arrow connects on the Alistar. Unbreakable Will immediately counters it. Thieves get no punish. They're going to try to go back and go for the Rift Herald, but the whole time, Jojo's split pushing bottom.
Exactly. I mean, this is just crazy. Jojo completely unanswered. Cloud9, playing that limit really, really well, not over pushing. And this is the largest gold lead at 14 this entire split from any team. Cloud9 already had incredible early game stats that Jat was talking about on the lounge earlier today in the pre-show. And now they're just going to be that much better after this beating there, giving 100 Thieves. And they weren't even able to take the Herald. They're still hanging around, but man, it's going to be tough to not just get killed if you try to walk in here.
Well, Jojo has teleported up to join, so C9 has all 5 men ready to fight for this one. 100 Thieves is going to try to make an approach. Eyla with the flash over the wall goes for the dredge line, but he doesn't find Jojo. Instead onto Berserker. Both Vulcan getting himself back away. Now remember, there is no Unbreakable Will available. Jojo still trying to get away, down to about 200 HP. A lot of damage on Vulcan, and Meech is going to get the kill. Blaber secures the Herald at the same time, so it's support traded away for Herald so far. Thanatos doesn't want to give over anything extra. Honestly, 100 Thieves, considering the Rift Herald doesn't even get claimed, they'll be pretty happy about that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, that is a positive play for them, especially from a deficit. You're feeling really good. You're able to go in and get a slightly positive trade down this much gold. Blaber not able to stop the recall, not able to grab the eye, unfortunately for him, but still very, very firmly in the driver's seat. And I'm curious, Flowers, there's a lot of talk about, is Berserker him anymore? Bwipo saying he's not him. That kind of spawned all that discussion in spring.
Yep.
Do you think he's back? Is it fair to say? Is it fair to declare? Or do they have to take down those top teams?
Well, I think he's got to do it on somebody that's not Zeri. That's kind of where I'm at. All of the Berserker highlight reel has been on Zeri. He had his kind of slump. He's back on Zeri.
Okay.
So this is the beginning of the good vibes for Berserker, I would feel like. If he can put up this kind of a performance again, he might be him again. He might be him. Jojo is burning. Any other champion, I would say, he'd survive, but that is Brand, so it ain't going to happen. Meanwhile, 100 Thieves picking up 2. It's Jojo and Blaber traded away for Eyla. You will take that every day of the week for 100 Thieves.
Yeah, that's a little bit of a flashback to spring for Cloud9. A couple random deaths after the strong early game.
Yeah.
This time they have enough of a monster lead, though, that I don't really think it's going to matter too much. They do get caught out. Jojo punished. Has been having a little bit of a sloppier game in this game number 2. Played a very clean game 1 on Tristana, though. Obviously, Lucian, I think it's a lot harder to survive.
Ooh, hold on. Sniper wants to go in for this. The ulti used by Thanatos, though. Sniper tries to get away from it, and not today. Thanatos gets his revenge for the solo kill in game number 1. He's getting one of his own here in game number 2. Put his name on the scoreboard. Both these boys are even. The battle for Rookie of the Year.
Yep, they're battling it out. And Mossy, we can't forget about him. I think he's another big candidate. Obviously, there's another number of other candidates, including Meech, Mask, Castle, etc. But I do think it's really down to Thanatos, Sniper, or Masu in my eyes. Those are the 3 that I think are likely going to be competing for it at the end of the day.
Well, top laners are an island, man. So the only dude who you can really mess with his prospects is the enemy top laner. If an enemy AD carry gets it, that's just team div. But as long as the enemy top laner doesn't get it, you can feel good, right?
Exactly. You were the best rookie top laner.
Right. Even if the AD carry gets it, rigged. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about that. C9 not worried about much of anything right now. 8,500 gold ahead, 18.5 minutes into the game. Blaber's got control over that bot side river, over that bot side crab, and the Drake is about to spawn. If you're 100 Thieves, I don't even think you think about contesting this.
All right, it's quiz time, chat.
Okay.
How many monitors would we have to turn off on the C9 side for 100 Thieves to win this game?
Well, I think River's monitor might be looking a little black and white right now.
You need to at least turn off 1 monitor, but you need to turn off multiple monitors from this position.
2.
2 monitors. So
yes.
1 monitor isn't going to do it.
1 monitor's not enough.
1 monitor's not enough.
Yeah.
I mean, keep in mind, they're still allowed to play with their monitor off. It just could be difficult.
Right, I know, but you turn Vulcan's monitor off, and then you just have Berserker tell him top left, top right, like whatever, for where to click to stand on top of the Zeri, and then just press his buttons once you're in the fight so Zeri doesn't die.
I'm seeing 3. I'm seeing 5.
5 monitors.
We got a 7 in chat. That guy's drunk.
That guy, yeah, that
There's
guy's
not even that many
no,
monitors.
he just means that we have to turn 2 of our monitors off as well, so that we can't cast or curse
The coaches have to turn
Oh
off
yeah,
their
there you go.
monitors.
Well, I mean, dude, I don't think Reaper's watching anyway. He was just kind of lounging back behind the stage.
Yeah, he's for sure playing Elden Ring.
Yeah, dude, he's having a great time back
He's
there.
cooking up a
he's
new
leveling
build.
up his anima power in Swarm. There's a lot of levels on that.
Yeah, there are.
You gotta put your hours in.
I was, can they choose who's off? You can choose.
Yeah.
You can choose. Some pretty high estimations, though. I got a 12 in there. We got some 3s. It looks like averaging around 3.
Okay,
is
3
what chat
monitors. All right, so
thinks.
chat has less faith than I do. Vulcan, Thanatos, and Berserker are just going to bury Sniper up here in the brushes of top lane. As Azael, I think that death coincides pretty perfectly here with the Baron about to spawn. I don't know if C9 is going to go for this early of a rush on it. Meech and the rest of 100 Thieves trying to put the damage on the tier 1 turret, but nope, it is C9 deciding, hey, all in, go for Baron, make him come here and fight us if nothing else. TP about to show up. Looks like Jojo's about to make his way in here first, but you're going to see 100 Thieves coming up to try to respond to it. They are in a 4v5. Once Sniper spawns in 10 seconds, he's going to have his Unleashed TP, but Cloud9 is trying to burn it before we even get to that point in time. River wants to make his way into the pit, but he's going to be down to 200 HP in the Baron. He is secured by Blaber and Cloud9, but now can they get away? 100 Thieves in pursuit. Sniper looking to block their exit. He shows up in the tri-brush. Vulcan's going to get cooked. It's beef on the barbecue, but Blaber gets one back and River's out of the picture. Jojo dies next. 4v3 for 100 Thieves as Blaber continues his escape. Berserker is so unconcerned, he's going to make sure he gets the red before he leaves. Blaber just keeping their attention elsewhere as C9 will end up losing 2 for 1 in players, but they walk away with a Baron.
Yeah, they get the Baron. They take that off the map. Cloud9 just looking to continually stay aggressive. And those spears are starting to hurt. That one did 60-70% of Meech's health with just the spear as Blaber was kiting out in that 1v3, and he even gets him.
He takes him down on the back end of it. Nearly gets Quid too. The Corki barely escapes.
He looked for the prediction spear there. I think he thought he was going to Valk down into the pit, so that's why he's throwing it down there. Tried to go for the big play. Unfortunately, he just Valked in a straight line.
Blaber is almost making me think Nidalee is good. That's how well he is playing.
Stop that.
Okay, I know. It's dangerous. It's a dangerous line of thinking.
It's a dark and lonely path.
It's a dangerous line of thinking, I know. But do you realize that if Cloud9 wins this game, that in just a single series, Cloud9 will triple the total number of Nidalee wins in the LCS. In just a single series.
That. Yeah, that's
incredible.
That is truly a time to be alive.
Yes, one of the stats of all time. We have to make sure that that's recorded. As 100 Thieves just really would like this game to not be recorded, honestly. This one has been trouble for the Thieves from minute 1 all the way back, man. I mean, just remembering the way that the jungle went early with River losing that blue buff to 3 HP and then getting solo killed by Thanatos. It's just been a nightmare from the very start. C9, we thought that the first game was going good from the start, but this one even more so. Here's another look at how this play went down. Vulcan just trying to keep him busy while the rest of the team burned the Baron.
Yeah, I mean, Quid got a lot of poke in there. His first big one hit 3 members, hit Berserker, Jojo, and Blaber. So a lot of poke was put down, and they can kind of use Eyla as well as Meech here with the slows to look for these chase downs. Vulcan was always going to die, so he's just going to try to buy time for the rest of the team.
Yeah.
Sniper TP's in, and you think, okay, this could be a huge moment, but then you realize they are this far behind. Everyone just turns on him, and he's immediately forced to run. They do get a kill, though, onto Zeri, so Cloud9 getting a little bit fast and loose with this massive lead that they have built up.
Yeah, I'm not really sure. We didn't really get to see what led to Berserker being there. He still has his flash up. He still has his ult up. His cleanse is on cooldown. So I'm guessing he was just a little too overconfident, stepped into some CC that he wasn't prepared for, as 100 Thieves at least now has a 5v4 to try to clear Cloud9 out of their section of the map. The thing for C9 is they only had a little bit of time left on the Baron. The Baron power play is at only plus 1,500. That's the amount of gold that you get for killing the buff. So for 100 Thieves, at least you're glad that C9 didn't really get a whole lot out of that early Baron take. Sometimes we see those just completely bulldoze the game as Meech is forced to flash away from Jojo's culling.
Yeah, Jojo got a ton of damage down with that culling, and Meech needs every little bit of gold that he can get. He is so far behind in that individual one-on-one, good 3,000 down from Berserker. Quid makes it a little bit closer as he does collect a bounty on that top side. He's the only one that has an advantage for his squad. Everyone very far behind, so let's see how this did happen. Looks like he wanted to try to interrupt Quid's recall. Just kind of got baited. They were all lying in wait. Quid starts recalling. I wonder if they had tracked that ward. If they did, credit to them. He just kind of starts that recall up. Looks like Zeri moves forward and then just caught from all sides.
Well, the third Drake for Cloud9 is about to drop here. Blaber will bring them to Soul Point. It's nearly a 4,000 gold lead in top lane. It's over 2K in the jungle. You already mentioned the 3,000 in the 80 carry role. I mean, honestly, the advantage that Quid had, Vulcan has the same amount of advantage over Eyla. So it is neutralized by the power of the cow, who has honestly neutralized so many plays that 100 Thieves has tried to make this game. It's been really impressive.
Yeah, Vulcan has been playing incredible so far today, and Quid maybe in a little bit of trouble, but feeling okay. Not going to pop anything too much as the arrow does go wide on Jojo.
I always love how Jojo gives him that thumbs up. Nice try, bud.
He's nothing if not consistent.
Oh, River. Does he die to this? The damage over time with the last caster auto? Yes, it does. Jojo gets the kill on River, and now C9 ain't feeling too scared at all. Baron not going to spawn for another minute and a half. Drake was just taken by them, but Sniper trying to come in here on the flank. 100 Thieves still thinking maybe they got a chance to try to fight something here. Sniper's all out, but it ain't going to matter. Eyla drops. Berserker gets him, and now a double kill for Thanatos. 100 Thieves has only one man left standing, and he'll fall too. A triple kill over to Thanatos, an ace for Cloud9. 10 seconds on River. Everybody else is dead for a lot longer, and C9's just running straight into the base.
Yeah, 5 for 0. Clean ace. Cloud9 looking like they're going to close this one the way they started in dominant fashion here. River's back up, but it's a 1v5. I think Cloud9 just want to end it.
Yeah, Vulcan flashing forward for the pulverize. They don't need anything else. The ace credit goes over to Blaber. Ayla's back alive, but it won't matter. The Nexus is exposed. 26 minutes into the game. Cloud9 hits 100 Thieves even harder the second time. They'll 2-0 this series.
Man, I really think the hype is building and building and building towards these next couple matches here for Cloud9. They've got FlyQuest, they've got TL in these next couple weeks. Energy is in there as well, but 2 of the top 3 teams, those matches are going to be so exciting and really, I think, are going to tell us so much about expectations going into playoffs because those are the big dogs. It's very clear those 3 teams feel like they're on a tier of their own, and we just have to find out who's going to be going into playoffs in that pole position.
Yeah, I'm 100% on board that C9 has to play against FlyQuest and TL and look competitive and beat at least one of them for them to be the real deal. But at the same time, if you're taking on opponents like 100 Thieves who are the more middle of the pack teams and just completely smashing them, it is a good omen. I think for C9 fans, this is absolutely the look that you needed to see if you want this team to be competitive in those top level series.
Absolutely, and if